It's amazing that he gets fucking love, huh? Lefty.
I mean, he just has his own swagger. He gets a lot of hate though too.
Oh, sorry.
He's
Yo, take
controversial.
that shit down. It's fine. Yeah, I'm sorry, dog. Bro, cause that dude's a meth addict. He's running around just fucking hopped up on meth, and no one does nothing about it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Lefty.
Oh, Lefty.
Yeah.
Who's Lefty?
Lefty gunplay.
Why is he Lefty?
Cause what do you think, dude?
Shoots from the left.
I'm pretty sure he shoots with his left.
He's left-handed?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's why they call him Lefty.
Do you think you could? I think, like literally shoot.
Yeah.
There's only one or two
I could
reasons
outshoot
why
him.
someone is called Lefty.
I could outshoot him. That's fine.
I mean,
They call me righty dick play. Because I jack off with
why
my right
was
hand.
left eye called left eye? Okay,
they
you
call
don't
me-
know.
they
Righty dick play is crazy.
they call me
No,
lean,
you want to add
lean
some class
right.
to it? Call it righty foreplay.
Oh.
Right, there you go. That's class.
That's his new rap name.
He's like, I shoot with my left, I do what I need to do with my right.
Gotta have a hand on each gun. What's up, Cobra?
Nothing, man. Just been chilling, doing me. Been all around the city, Oxnard, Thousand Oaks. I've been pushing out more in LA. I'm just trying to get this music shit out there. So, yeah.
What's your grind look like?
All right.
The grind
Oh, the grind. Oh,
for you.
bad. Shoot, for me, honestly, I think the grind kind of starts whenever I wake up. I think that how I like to start my day is that I'll wake up, usually give the homie ATM a call. ATM be like my manager, aka co-artist, aka we do a lot of our work together. So we always wake up in the morning, we talk it out, kind of plan out our day, plan out our week, and then plan out how we just gonna attack our music. And then after that, we laid in the plan. I'm not gonna lie, he's a lot better at the scheduling and putting all that stuff into paper, so we can keep track of it all. But I bring the vibes, I bring the energy, I just bring the presence, and I make sure that I always try to, give my 100% whenever I'm there. So, yeah, that's for me.
That's dope. And so, what stage are you on right now? Like, are you pushing an album? Are you're trying to lay the groundwork for a future album?
Right now, I had an album dropped in February. So for this year, I really wanted to do mostly just pushing for that. But summer's right around the corner, so I got a couple little summer bangers out. I'm thinking about getting that done like first, second week of June, get that dropped. And then so everyone, gonna have a little bit of Cobra during the summer. You ain't gonna get enough of me,
Have you reached out for anybody for a performance, or do you have any performances this summer?
Yeah. So I definitely got something with the Lit House Music, also with DJ Fresh. We got a little prolific showcase. I'm sorry, I'm not. That's a lot of words, a lot of syllables. But yeah, we got a prolific showcase on June 5th. I'm gonna be performing, doing my own little thing. You feel me? There's gonna be a bunch of cool little artists over there too.
It's next week. It's in a couple days.
Yeah, it's in a couple days. So I gotta make sure that I'm ready, But me, Cover's always gonna be ready. Stay ready, never get ready, as they always say.
I'll try to get some of this edited for at least social media to so people can get hype. Maybe some new new visuals from.
I feel that. I was like, that's what I need to hear. I was like, that's what I like to hear,
Yeah. I'll do it first thing Monday, or maybe even tomorrow, bro.
Oh shit.
Depends on.
Oh God, clock it in, lock it in, brother.
Take me through your journey. Are you a music guy first? What attracted you to this artistry, this art?
I think, yeah. To be honest with you, I've always been a music guy. To be honest with you, when I was younger growing up, I actually really didn't like rap, when I was younger.
What was it?
I didn't
What
like
was it?
rap. Oh, what was it about rap that I didn't
No,
like?
no. What was it? What were you into?
Oh, like mostly R&B and soul. Like my parents are older. Like my mom had me when she was 40 on the dot. So, and my dad, he was in his 50s.
Same.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was just like they were older. They listened to their own little thing. They wouldn't let me change the radio because they had that old little way, don't touch my radio,
Yeah.
So it was just R&B,
Was it like 70s R&B, 80s R&B, 60s?
Sometimes like 70s, 60s. It was a lot of mix of everything. So
you're classed.
yeah, I definitely I definitely do know. A lot of let me see. A lot of Aretha Franklin, a lot of Isley Brothers.
That's
a lot
how I
of,
started. That's exactly how I started.
You know,
Like, same shit, dude.
right? A lot of Isley Brothers, a lot of
Isley's got some bang.
Isley's got
a lot of songs.
bangers. And then there was another dude, I can't remember his name right now, but he made the Shaft soundtrack. He's really good with the soul. And yeah,
Isaac
like,
Hayes? No, Isaac Hayes did.
no, that actually is who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Isaac Hayes,
I
exactly.
know
What I'm
my.
talking
See,
about.
look, and then you see
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
motherfucking trying to tell me I don't know about shit. I'm music.
You only know because it's the same
What the
name.
fuck? Both of you
shit,
take two
he's like, I
motherfuckers.
know
No.
I'm cultured.
No.
He said I'm cultured, y'all.
Hey.
You only know because his name's Isaac. That's it.
That's
I
it.
don't give a fuck if I knew him because I just fucking pulled him out of my asshole. I
You
fucking said
did.
that. No one else said Isaac Hayes in this bitch. I fucking know him. Shit, he's chef.
Oh God, but like yeah, and like it also might be a little controversial, but I think my number one artist growing up was Michael Jackson because that was the only thing my mom would listen to. So
Oh shit, that's not controversial. At all.
Yeah,
You
not
don't
even.
think
Not
so?
even at all.
I feel like it just like that phrase kind of aged wrong over the years with all the stuff that he went through or whatever.
I just think that there's too
How else do
many
you wanna
like
look at it?
people who have vouched for him after his death.
yeah.
And I know that there was a group of people who made that documentary and whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
too many people vouched for him that he could have fucking diddled.
That's my thing. I diddled is crazy. He could have diddled in the ditty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nah, for me, and like I always look at it as like it's kind of how your household looked at the situation. Like for my mom, she's a Michael Jackson ride or die. She thinks that everyone pinned this on a man that's already dead, and she doesn't think that's fair, right? But I'm also thinking when you have that much power and that much influence on the world, you can get away with a lot of shit, and nobody would ever know. So that's how I look at it. Not to say that I think that he did it or did not do it. I just think that the possibility is highly likely, if that makes sense.
Sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Also, dude, the dude was worth more dead than alive.
yeah,
Do you know that? Because I mean, when he dies, what happens? What gets sold?
yeah. Shit.
His catalog,
His
the Beatles
catalog.
catalog. Think about
Yeah.
all the catalogs he
Well,
owns.
look, he gave back the Beatles catalog actually.
He gave it back.
Yeah,
He
he
gave
gave
it
it back.
back?
He gave it back. He took it and then he obviously he did some songs with it. He did a couple of covers and then he ended up giving it back to the Beatles.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, he I mean, he did what he needed to do with it. Probably just wanted to make songs or do some covers, so
you know,
without
he got his
paying
money out
royalties.
of it. I
And
feel
then he goes, and then he gave it back to I think Paul, whoever the estate was, but he gave it back to him.
That's cool.
I'm a Michael Jackson feed, man. That's why don't be ashamed of it. I mean,
Oh
it was-
yeah,
it was-
nah. Like I'll still, rock with you. Remember the time? Oh, we can go
I
song
mean, he
for
went from
song.
like
bruh.
disco funk, and then
You
and then the
know?
'80s,
And then he went like into this weird '80s, like kind of like weird punk alternative wave. But then he came out with Thriller. Then he came out with Beat It. Then he started coming out with like a little bit of a hip hop wave. Michael was kind of cold, yo. Michael was cold, but R.I.P. Michael. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't know. His later shit, like,
Invincible's a sleeper, man. There's some songs on Invincible.
I don't
that
like
are
that.
sleeper.
I don't like that album.
I don't know.
Black and White. It's such a fucking lame song.
Black and White.
Black
Yeah.
and White is a
You don't like that
banger.
song?
No.
That's a banger.
I agree. That is
It's-
not good.
The guitar solo on that shit alone, dude. Like,
It don't matter if you're black or
hey,
white.
It sounds like it's from a Disney soundtrack.
Yeah, it's too goofy for me.
Yeah, it sounds like a
I
you
Disney
were just
song.
playing the Goofy movie.
And
That is meant to for it.
And guess what? The
Yeah.
guy that's in that is supposed to be like Michael Jackson.
Oh God.
That was Tevin Campbell.
it was Eye to Eye.
Bro, that brought everyone together. It brought his early side and his night side and black and white together. You know what I mean? Boom.
And then the We Are the World.
What's wrong with that?
Whack.
Kill the world.
No.
Rule the world. It just sounds like you don't want to be
Make it
wholesome, bro.
better.
Yeah.
wanna be wholesome.
I'm a deviant, dude. If Michael Jackson's not, if he's trying to get me to love people, nah. I'm not trying to do that, Mike.
I definitely feel.
I'm not trying to love anyone.
He's like, I'm just bad.
Well, they didn't. He made also. They don't give a fuck about us. You know, even that's what he probably wanted man to say. Don't give a damn. Like, they don't.
That's the one song I like.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the song you like. I don't know.
because if you think about it, what he was saying is the truth.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Because if they really, and let's just think about it, bro. If they really gave a shit about us, and when I say us, I'm talking about we all make under $1 million in here, right? I would assume. we are the us. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They don't care about our type of people.
You guys make under $1 million?
You make under $1 million?
In like they proof of that is the people in Palestine. I'm not trying to, if anything, how I see politically I just, kids are dying, people are dying, period. And if they gave a fuck about us people, people wouldn't die.
Well, I think that song has to do with not just everyone, but also like, you know, being black. Like he said, he's black. You know what I mean? Like he, regardless of what, like he came from a black family. So like, yeah.
Wait, I am not a fan of Michael Jackson, but give me the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Give me the Jackson 5.
I mean, this guy, but that's what I'm saying. This guy, the reason why I'm so big and a big Michael is because this guy was like a musical genius since the age of
since like he was
like
little
3 or 4
kid.
or 5.
Yeah.
He gave his whole life for it.
His whole life is music, right? Regardless of what you say about his personal and weird shit and maybe some of the stuff that people say or whatever, this guy's catalog from he's a youth, from like his birth to his death. He was gonna do one more last tour. Like he was, you know, he has music in the vaults. He has some shit with Prince that no one's ever fucking heard of. He has some fucking shit that they put on the new album that some of the new album was alright, you know, but that cover with Queen and shit like that's on there.
Ugh, Queen.
There's so much shit that this dude did in his music career. That's why I'm like, he's like top artist of the millennia. You know what I mean? Like, and we're talking when we go back another 100 years. You go back, you're still gonna talk about Beethoven. You're gonna talk about certain people, and Michael Jackson.
They said for like the 21st, 20th century, like biggest like musical impact or biggest like creative impact, Michael's name.
It's got to be.
Yeah, he will be there.
I mean, let's just think of other people that would be in that Elvis.
Sure.
That guy
Elvis.
that was a bridge.
Yeah. I would say like you have Elvis,
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, NWA. If you want to single someone out, someone that probably
Madonna.
definitely will be on the list will be Dr. Dre. He will definitely be on the list.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah.
Would James Brown count in that era? No.
Brown,
Just in general, yeah.
Brown
for
yeah.
soul, yeah,
70s.
he's the Godfather of soul, yeah.
You know, Aretha Franklin too.
Johnny
She'll be on
Cash.
that list.
Johnny Cash
Like
is one.
everyone knows Respect. Everyone knows that song. So.
Nirvana.
Nirvana
too.
Beatles, yeah.
Beatles, Queen.
Yeah.
Queen.
100%.
Bowie.
Bowie.
What about now? Like, are we old? Like, all right, let's just think about it. Is there less memorable music coming out now, and less memorable artists?
You got
Because if you think about it now, it's Drake. It's to judge that. What about 2000,
Well,
2010?
okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's different though too.
yeah,
Well,
and it all
also-
depends on it, dude. Because
I think kind of like the culture of music kind of changed a
Nickelback.
little bit. Like in the older days, it was really like, not to say that there's not a grind now, but it really was about like a grind, finding your way into like a studio. That took a problem, finding your way into like getting your stuff on the radio and all that
Man,
stuff.
we just were talking about this.
You know,
With the
like
Diddy.
you needed to have a banger to like a certified banger to be heard. You know what I mean?
to get attention.
To get that type of attention, and it wouldn't even be like all over the world. Like that's just to get you on the radio with the like local radio type thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like the culture kind of leveled to a point where you just want these streams. So if you can kind of make catchy things, not so much that it's gonna stick with you in life, but it can stick with you to get you through the day type shit. Like I'm always thinking of just like random songs that just pop up in my head, and it really means nothing to me. It doesn't make me feel any type of way, but it's just stuck there. Versus like if I heard RESPCT, Respect by Aretha Franklin, like that, oh, it's just gonna make me feel away. I'm always gonna get up, start dancing, do my thing whenever I hear it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like it's just the culture's a little different. But at the end of the day, the grind is always gonna be.
We were talking about the Diddy case earlier, and how what the Diddy case has shown us is there is and has been gatekeepers in the music community,
100%.
and to make it past certain levels of radio play, of anyone fucking with you, like you're seeing that you had to do things. You had to do things for Diddy or for Clive Barker or for whoever it is.
Facts. Definitely fact. And I think that was definitely like in that era that we were talking about a lot more like the 2090s, because I feel like you have a lot of people that dealt with that a certain situation. Big case in point would be Aaliyah. I feel like Aaliyah got abused going through the industry, and she was just a young girl. You know what I mean? Like, what, 19 when she died? 20 when she died?
20, I think.
Something like that. So it's just like, I feel like the industry, you got gatekeepers, you got some dastardly, evil motherfuckers in that business, bro. And even if you think they'll be the realest homie, they'll turn into the most phoniest homie tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you just gotta you have to have your head on straight. And you gotta have like a real support team, people that you knew, not just through the music. You knew them outside of the music in your personal life. If you don't have that kind of support system, you're not gonna get anywhere. True.
Also, I saw this interview this week. It was with Diddy's bodyguard. And he was saying that during the time when Biggie went to Cali, they planned it. He said that they called off security. He also said that Biggie was moving. He wanted away from Bad Boy. He was going to a different, I think Universal or something. And so he was getting other people like Cameron. He was getting like the people that are around because Diddy's contracts were so fucked. And he was gonna go and go to another label. And imagine what that's gonna do for Diddy's image. It fucks it forever. So there's no way he can't let all his people go. So he had to take care of it, and he took care of it.
No, I definitely heard some shit about some Diddy, bro. No one in the business. It always, like, for me, even when I was starting off, like, just researching, little tidbits and stuff, no one would ever fuck with Diddy, And I was always just like, who's this chump-ass nigga? You know what I mean? And, like, he always just kind of had, like, I had a bad feel around him. But,
You know who did it?
Stuff came out.
Fucking 50 Cent always kept it 100 when it came.
Oh yeah,
I love 50
he
Cent.
always
he always knew.
He was just like, what the fuck? 50 always knew. He was
lie.
the TMZ on that shit.
This is what makes me not like Ja Rule now. It's because 50 was right.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with Ja Rule?
True.
You know
Ja
what I mean?
Rule, who
Rule
talks
beef
about
crazy.
literal date rape in his fucking songs and stuff, like talks about the shit that they
Murder.
say happens with Diddy.
NWA that talks about killing police and
I
human
was
beings.
like, what do you think going to the candy shop?
Wait a second.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
When he
Candy
says
shop.
lick the lollipop, do you really think it's a lollipop he's talking about?
Hold on. Don't do this to me right now. We already went over the party favor thing. Okay.
She might look good, but up in the head.
Who?
Wait, I look good?
Who looks
Talking
good?
about Tim.
Oh, I don't call me she.
Huh? I called him he.
Oh, okay. She does not.
He called you a she.
He says you're a blonde, bro.
He looks good.
He was thinking about that right
muscular. How
angle
muscular
thing you
look
said earlier and the muscles right now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Remember? Look, click on you right now.
Me?
Yeah. See, look at that. Boom. Look at it. He's been putting the work on the gym.
Oh no, I'm
You
just
look
fat.
like, you look like Rhinebeck.
I ate fucking 8 cookies in the last 2 days.
What kind of cookies? What?
Peanut butter cookies.
Those are good.
Did you dip them in peanut butter?
Yes.
I know you.
So I'm gross.
I know him. He eats spoonfuls of peanut butter.
Really?
Dude, I buy like the double pack of these like the tubs of
Yeah,
peanut
the
butter.
tubs,
And
yeah.
it comes in 2
Oh,
for
those are good, yeah.
$13.
Well, how long does it last you?
Like a week.
No. Like I eat so much peanut butter, I have to get Kirkland.
Oh.
He got a Costco for it.
Yeah.
We don't care about the terrible oils here. We
Yeah.
care about the peanut butter
He was
taste.
I know exactly.
He was just
what
talking
I'm
shit
sorry.
about my grapes.
He's
Hey, those grapes are
vegetarian,
genetically made. I don't go fuck. They're good.
Those grapes suck.
I know that peanut butter is full of oils. It's not good for you.
Yeah,
That's why I'm bitching about myself. But I'm in this, this cycle.
I appreciate it though. No,
Does anybody? No, you guys don't look like you're in this cycle. Isaac, you're fat. You're in this cycle.
Yeah.
It's look at I work out. I have aches, so I smoke weed
Yeah.
for my joints.
Yeah.
True.
When I smoke weed, I eat,
You get the munchies,
and then I
eat the
get
shit that
fat,
you're not
and then
supposed to
I
eat
go
shit
back
that-
to the
yeah.
gym, and then I have to smoke weed.
And then you get
stuck
to
and then I have
cycle
to,
of fat.
yes,
You're stuck in a loop.
I'm stuck in a loop of
Wait.
being a fucking fat ass.
Wait. So you actually, so munchies when smoking weed is real.
Yes.
You don't smoke. You don't do
don't
any kind of
smoke at all.
drugs.
I don't do any kind of drugs. No.
She can't. Remember, she has the auto thing.
I don't do
That's a
drugs.
fucking lie. Maybe if you did drugs, you wouldn't have that autoimmune
what?
thing.
I'm so amazed right now. Like, not just because like some people like smoke to go to sleep. I smoke to breathe. So it's just like I really be smoking. You don't smoke?
No.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm breathing fresh air all the time.
Have you?
Say so.
Do you?
Have I ever?
wait,
Yeah.
Do you take
No, I have.
TBs?
No.
Why? You should, dog.
Should I?
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, you should.
Yeah.
And as a friend to, as a human being to another human
What
being,
did you say you get some, dude?
a TB.
Oh.
It's so awesome. Not having it.
Yeah.
Not the first few days, but you start dreaming again. You start getting these different ideas, and you break pathways that you have. You know how like you build
Yeah.
routines and pathways?
Yeah.
You break that, and then when you come back, you build new ones.
Okay. It's
So
kind of like
it-
a habit breaker type of thing.
It's creatively, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. I feel that.
Because I can when I do it, I come off of it. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel that.
and then when I come back, I have a different outlook on things.
Have you ever accidentally taken drugs?
Sounds like some PhD.
Yes, I accidentally took meth
Meth.
once when I thought I was doing cocaine.
Oh, that's a big
Accidentally.
difference.
I think
That's
this
a
is a
big
story.
difference.
everybody.
Bro, it's
Oh,
like
you want-
oh.
You haven't? What the fuck? Me too.
Okay, so here's the story with this one, dude.
Accidentally. How do you accidentally?
Well, people don't tell you.
All right, so my brother is a degenerate. Like in the most
Why gotta be like that,
sincere,
Big Tim? Why gotta be like that?
in the most sincere, loving way possible, right?
I love you too, Big Tim. Yeah.
Like in a degenerate in a way, like once he starts,
Hmm.
it's not gonna stop.
Yeah, you
I'm
hunker
not-
down.
I'm a degenerate. Yeah. Go ahead.
But you know it. So when it rolls, it rolls. Like
it just starts
the
rolling.
party starts, it doesn't stop
Yeah.
for days, right?
Days.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe not for days. Wait,
But,
for days?
yeah.
3 days probably.
Okay. Go
Big
ahead.
Dan is a fucking monster, dude. So
That's what he talks.
Dan, we're here. There used to be like a bar here, like used to be like a V shape, like like a panel,
Yeah.
and I remember he put a baggie underneath like that thing right there, because there used to be this. Yeah. It's a mic stand.
Mhm.
So he puts a baggie, and I see it.
Mhm.
And then he goes, "You don't want none of that."
I was like, yeah, dude.
He was like, "That's the good shit."
Oh.
And I was like, "For reals?" I go, he was like, "Yeah." But he was referring to cocaine. We've never done anything else.
Yeah,
Like weed, coke,
Yeah.
occasional coke. I'm not like we're fucking rails after rails. You know what I mean? Like,
I get you. Having a good time, but not going crazy.
oh shit, you got coke? I've had coke in a while.
Yeah.
Let's fucking rack them up.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "This is the good shit." And so he cuts the whole bag in half.
Uh-huh.
He puts 2 baggies. And he goes, "This is for you. Thanks for being my brother." I was like, "My dude."
Oh.
So he goes inside. I do the line, and that. Oh shit!
Dude, you
Oh,
got
it
the
hurts.
gas.
Oh,
You got the
no.
gas.
And then I didn't sleep for 2 days.
Wait, it doesn't look different? Shouldn't it look
Did
different?
he?
It was just ground up,
Did he know?
Oh my god.
bro. You don't think he knew?
He.
He knows all drugs. Of
But-
course he
What?
knew.
Well, that's what could have been the first batch that he got, thinking that it wasn't, and he gave you unknowingly.
I don't know
stuff.
about that.
No,
I don't know.
dude.
I'm
It's like
giving him the
it's already
benefit of the doubt.
12:30 at night, and I walk in on him, and he tries to hide it.
Oh, so he.
So he knows. You know from the burn. You know.
Damn.
And then, he ends up getting bit by it, and it sticks around him for a while. You know what I mean? So
How
I
pissed-
knew.
How pissed were you at him?
I'm not gonna get mad. I'm a degenerate. I'm the one that fucking did it.
But yeah, but he gave you the wrong drug.
yeah, you didn't know what it was. You
I know,
should know.
Basically, I just want to know what your reaction was.
Yeah, I would've
I
been
just
pissed.
didn't say
Did you flip
nothing.
out? You didn't say anything?
I just put it back where I find where
You
he
just put it
hit it.
back.
You put it back in the mic stand.
Yeah, I put it back under there.
This ain't for me.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
It's not like you can send back like a burger, right? You just had it and you just fucking
Oh,
took it and you're
God.
like, hey, I'm good with this.
I think I got the wrong order.
Yeah, I got Hey,
Yeah,
bro.
and then like I was trying to jack off that night, and I couldn't come for shit.
Why would you jack off while you're
been in
strung out on
situations like
meth?
that.
Why does people do anything, dude? You think I was like, I'm gonna get that night? Do you think I was like, you know what? Tonight I'm gonna go home, do some meth, and jack off.
Try to jack off.
Yeah, do you think that was in my head?
That's
No.
wild.
I was like,
I don't know. You're a degenerate, so maybe.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna relax. Oh, you got coke? Let me do one bump before I go
You're
to
gonna
bed.
put some. You're gonna do some meth. You're gonna pump some muddy waters and jack off.
I'm pretty sure if we went on the internet or asked Nova, ChatGPT, they could tell us ranking of what drug is best to jack off with.
Ecstasy.
It has to be
probably.
ecstasy.
Yeah, ecstasy.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It has
Well,
to be
and
ecstasy.
Well,
I'm
you know,
not
there's a
gonna
lot of drugs.
let her know I'm a
Actually-
pervert.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe like some LSD or
Mushrooms.
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 Mushrooms
If
might
you
be
get a
actually
trip, a
crazy.
good trip, that
A
shit
good
was
trip.
dope. I had a good trip on one time.
I did not. I've tried
It's risky. It's a roulette.
It's a roulette.
It's
for
a roulette wheel.
I
It
would like
is.
to know more
on
about
acid.
trips.
You come hard.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
On acid. Wait,
Yeah.
Oh.
Depends on what kind of acid you get. If you get some clean acid,
Hey.
it's a hard.
Hold on.
Oh
Come.
God.
Hey,
Yes.
that one?
No,
Oh,
I don't like that one.
you didn't? Oh, I'm
Mm-mm.
not gonna.
He hooked me up with some acid.
Oh. Okay.
Wait,
Cool.
what
I've had
what
acid
form
before.
does acid come in?
Comes
This
a
one came
tab.
in like a brick,
Yeah, it was,
What?
It was a little.
like a brick.
like
it
a
have
clear
like a little-
You have to
thing.
let it dissolve. It's like a little
Yeah,
hard.
it's like a little tab you put on the tongue.
I want to get the liquid one though. I think the liquid one would hit hard.
Dude, I'm just out of control. Like
Yeah.
I was, that one I'm not in control.
Nah.
The one
when I was on acid, I was out in the forest. Like I did like the actual like how you're supposed to do it.
And you didn't get
apparently.
lost?
Oh, I
I
could've.
picture like
if I
the
didn't
Simpsons.
have if I didn't have sober people with
Oh,
me,
no.
I definitely would have got lost. I probably would have died. But
What the fuck?
Dog, it feels so good, huh?
it
Like
just feels so good.
spiritually.
Like you really just like spiritually, but like
Yeah.
you really start putting things into question, like concepts. Like for me, like a couple examples was like I'm walking through this trail out in the forest, right? And then there was like a broken down tree that kind of fell over and was like making a kind of look like a bridge between like two creeks, right? That's not part of the path. My high ass thought that was part of the path. And so I wanted to go walk up and I almost fell off the fucking
Have
thing
you
and fell
heard
into
of the
river.
bridge to Terabithia?
Yes. I
This
watched
could
that
have been
movie.
was what happened right
Yeah,
here.
that's exactly like
This
I was
could've-
in some bridge to Terabithia.
Yeah.
I definitely was. And then after that, I kept on walking further down the trail, and then I forgot that
You're with people.
yeah.
I've been
the
there.
worst part about it was I didn't even forget that I was with people. I forgot the people that I was with.
Oh shit.
So it was like I'm looking at them.
Like,
and I
oh, what
see
are you
that
doing
they're-
here?
Yeah.
Like, no, not even
Hey,
like
what
that.
are you doing?
Nah, not even like that. It was just like I'm looking at them and I'm like, they look familiar to
Oh,
me,
you
but
didn't
I
know.
like you
You
see me.
forgot.
I forgot.
Oh,
like I was like,
shit.
do I know y'all? I literally had to turn around and ask him. I'm like, do I know
You
y'all?
got Men in Black fashion.
Like I
thing,
really did
yeah.
get flashed, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Were you the
bro.
only one on it?
No, I had a whole bunch of friends on it with me.
It was
but
like- was it
just
like a
these
50-50
two people
split?
were,
Oh.
like,
The
those
sober
sober
one.
ones.
So they were the chaperones.
I've been
Exactly.
asked before because I'm the sober friend. I've been asked before if I could be the babysitter, and I say absolutely not because if you annoy the shit out of me, I'm leaving you wherever you're at.
See, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
but I get that though. I definitely don't like being the babysitter when I'm sober. But yeah.
Yeah,
nah.
you're having a whole
I was
vibe
little
going
menace. I was a menace. I literally was like, I had to turn around and ask my friends. I was like, do I know y'all? Like, are y'all supposed to be following me? Like,
Yeah,
this shit
like,
on. Are
crazy.
you
Crazy.
supposed to?
There's
Like,
not
y'all
there's not one of them that you're like, oh, I sort of know this one.
Like,
You didn't feel like you were in danger, which is people following you?
I did. That's why I had like I was really concerned. I
You're
don't know,
running?
like,
Leave me
I was
alone!
just playing around.
They're
Y'all
following me
like-
again.
Like I thought I might.
They're
have
back!
Did
Like
this
I might have had to fight.
ET
That's
phone home.
exactly what I thought.
do it? Did you write any great lyrics while on anything?
I never had the chance to do it on acid, but like I always.
It's
shoot
hard to
it right.
concentrate.
It's hard to concentrate.
I
Like,
think shrooms would be better than
I
that.
think
It's hard to
shrooms is
concentrate.
On
I
shrooms?
think mine depends on how many shrooms you do. Like if you like microdose or if
Yeah,
you
if you're
take a
microdose,
good amount.
microdose is
yeah,
If you
whatever.
take a good
If you're
amount,
trying to
you be
party,
chilling.
nah.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hallucinate, so
You
I say,
guys,
yeah.
I'm learning so much right now.
Dude, but
I'm
hallucinating.
learning so much.
Having a good trip and hallucinating on mushrooms is the fucking best.
That is.
What?
I
that
10
is-
out of
that
10
is a
recommend
crazy
it.
one.
I 10 out of 10 recommend if you want to shoot the roulette,
Yeah.
you know, because because you can have a bad trip.
This sounds like a 2 out of 10 recommendation.
It's definitely.
If you want to put the risk in, I'd recommend.
It's like what he's saying. Like it is a risk. I always tell people when you do psychs for the first time, you have to have a good mindset because that like if you have any bad idea or you're second guessing it at all, you're gonna have a bad trip.
Or whatever,
you're gonna stress out.
You got, but dude,
you have to
have
have a good mindset going.
You
in.
have to.
You
be the
have
good
to.
One. Like
Yeah.
the vibe, everything has.
Everything
if
has
so
to be
one
good.
thing is off,
Mm-hmm.
people start mutating.
Yeah,
and shit,
you
and then
start becoming
and then,
a
but
person
you gotta.
that you
but
don't.
for me,
yeah.
I know that I know it's. I tell myself, hey, this is your head. Like you're cool. You're not safe.
That's same. I have like a little calm down pep talk that I do.
Yeah,
I'd be like, you have to always tell yourself. I'd be like, bro, I'm on a drug right now. So whatever I'm feeling is the drug, and I gotta just let this go on. You know what I mean? That always seems.
You
to
just
calm
ride
me
the
down.
chaos.
You have to ride the chaos for real, because otherwise you'll
I don't
just
like
get
this.
mad paranoid and trip.
I don't like this at all. No.
It's a trip.
Have you ever done any drug?
I've done some drugs.
Like what?
Besides like weed, which is
That's
normal.
not
I know.
a drug.
Coke, ecstasy, Molly.
Oh, you did all those?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what the hell?
I don't like any of them.
over here, like
Okay, so educate me, y'all. I've been hearing like different things. Is ecstasy and Molly the same thing, or is it different?
they're
No,
like
different.
strands.
They're different strands.
They're
but
different.
basically
It affects you differently too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
it's very similar,
Mm-hmm.
but it affects you differently.
They're different. Yeah.
They are different.
I feel like I feel like I'm a sensitive person because like all these things fuck me over, really.
Okay.
But they are completely different. Taking ecstasy and taking Molly was totally different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel that. Because I
I
feel
want
like
to do Molly because after the X, like I want to try that one.
They'll suck.
I don't know. I didn't have a bad trip on X when I got it.
I think
I don't
both
think
are
I ever had a bad trip on X. I feel like with X, I'm like, I love everybody.
empathic.
Yeah, I'm very
It,
empathic.
that I really use it therapeutically because
But how do you feel afterwards?
I feel
Afterwards,
good.
I don't.
I feel I'm
Really?
a more pleasant person.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
Maybe
I
I'm
get like a
just-
changed perspective for a couple days.
I'm just not meant to
Yeah,
be
for a couple
pleasant.
days.
For a couple days, I feel like I have a changed perspective.
I've done DMT, like in the vape form.
What?
No.
Haluska, bro.
Oh no, but he got a thing. He got
had a-
he
I
got
had
he got shit blown up his nose.
Yeah, I had tobacco is what I called it.
It was not tobacco.
There was
tobacco.
this girl gave him
Yeah, that shit.
he knew her at the point where she blew this.
Powder.
Crack.
It was a powder
Yeah,
that made him hallucinate and start crying.
Crack.
Angel does?
No.
No.
She-
It was spiritual. It was a spiritual
it was
thing.
like
It was spiritual. Yeah, it was like a wooden
Anything
pipe,
is spiritual.
and
It was
there
her
was
spirit-
drums.
it was
there
her
was
s-
it was circle, and like people were putting hands
Oh,
on
like
me.
you're actually having like a circle. Like a
Yeah.
spiritual circle.
She blew them both. Everyone got the blow into
No.
their fucking nose, and they were just but what happened was for me, it's like you get high initially, but then you have to what is that? When you regurgitate it out, you purge yourself.
Oh,
You-
like kind of
so
detox it out.
Yeah, so you purge afterwards. You
Yeah.
get it, you
What?
hit it, and then you purge.
Oh no.
And then you go into this consciousness of like now
Oh, so you're still high. It's not like out of you. You're still high once you purge it out, or
you're coming down from it.
Okay,
You're like
gonna come down
nauseous.
now.
Yeah.
It's made you nauseous.
So basically, it would be like you get a
You're
blow in your
poisoned.
face.
Yeah.
You get
yeah.
the whole thing going on. Then, like, I guess you reach your peak.
You reach the peak, and once you reach
reach
the
your
peak,
peak?
your body rejects it, and then
No,
Oh.
it doesn't reject it because you reached your peak. It rejected it because it's not supposed to be in
well,
your
right.
body.
It reaches your peak of tolerance,
But
right?
yeah, like,
Because you keep
tolerant.
like you feel not. And I was thinking like and they're all females, right? So I'm thinking like I'm not gonna throw up because this is pussy
Yeah.
ass shit. I'm like I'm gonna try, and I was like nope,
Yeah.
no, and that because it felt like I
Wait,
needed
so-
to. And she even said you need to. It's okay. Don't be embarrassed. It was all very like
Throwing up?
non-judgment, supportive, healing, and I did a lot of. It was a lot of mental. I was like, long story short, I had like mom issues. She was very abusive, violent. So anyway, I discovered years of therapy of this because it was dormant, and all this shit happened. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I was tripping the fuck out. I was like, wow, like that shit was nuts. Like did this whole thing, and they threw it in my nose. And I was like, oh shit, like that's just wild. But it was good. I loved it. I thought it was a great experience.
That's
So
dope.
throwing up in front of women, that's a pussy thing?
Yeah.
What else is in that category?
Well, I mean, for one, you're as a man, you're supposed to be a provider and protector.
Uh-huh.
So you show weakness that
When you throw up?
any kind of weakness
Any kind of
sort of shows
Less than.
you're less than.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah.
Less than.
You
It's
can't
less than-
protect.
It's less than value.
Oh.
You know.
I know
You want a tough guy who can withstand
Yeah.
troubles and tribulations. You don't want some pussy dude going out and coming back home to you where he's getting fucking, butt fucked at work by his boss.
Got it.
That's a topic.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a topic.
really? Is
Red-
that a thing?
That's red
I think
flags.
that is a
What?
thing.
That gives me the ick.
That gives the ick?
I think
That's
I don't
a
think-
man's
I don't
ick?
think- I don't think it's an ick.
Yeah, it gives him the ick. It
I
gives-
just
it's- yeah.
you
Self
have
ick.
to be like, this is what I'd say. You have to be a very certain type of man to be able to have full security in that. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you can be okay with it. Yeah, you can get spoiled, and I think that all men need to get spoiled. You feel me? Or like,
All
shout out to
kings.
my kings.
All kings.
You just
yeah.
feel me? Shout out to my kings. We do need to
Shout
get
out
spoiled out here.
kings.
But I do think that you just have full security in that with your girl making more money or your girl being the breadwinner when society-wise you're
Hold
looked
up.
at as one.
Hold on, let me
It
ask you a
just-
question.
It makes you insecure.
This goes deeper. What if she's getting that money because she has OnlyFans on the side?
Yeah, that's out the window. Like that's questioning the relationship at that point. That's questioning the relationship.
Damn.
I
Like,
just
at
want
first I was
I
insecure.
just try.
Now I'm upset.
I'm like in deeper and deeper shit.
This guy's a dick, huh? Do you understand the situation that's happening in this room?
I think I'm catching.
Okay,
on.
so he's a fucking asshole, huh?
Let me adjust my jewelry real quick.
if
I
I'm
don't know
thinking
what you
what
talking
you
about,
thinking,
Timothy.
yeah.
That's what. See, I'm on.
See,
his
I
phone.
just said.
But
shout
I'm
out
not
kings.
that dude.
Okay.
I'm the dude that goes out and fucking and hunts,
Sure.
and I'm bringing that shit home.
But
Like-
if you come home and there's blowjobs waiting for you, you ain't gonna turn that down.
What the fuck are you talking
don't
about, dog?
Exactly.
I think that's a total different thing.
I don't think you have to be in a relationship for that.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's a total different thing.
Uh,
I just prefer to be the provider,
Yeah, I would prefer
You know,
to be the breadwinner.
or
get
ma-
that.
I prefer to be the breadwinner.
I get
Like,
that.
do I have a real problem with sitting down on my ass? You know, getting spoiled? Not really, but I'd prefer to be the breadwinner.
Interesting. I'm learning so much.
I mean, me and my wife, we go back and forth, per raise.
I think so. I think that's a healthy relationship. You know what I mean?
And
When it
I
comes-
pay for most. I pay for most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that because I feel that's that's what I want to show my son.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take care of your family like that. You become a man and you do what's right. Whatever that is. By taking care of it and providing and I don't know. I'm old school like that. I'm not a Republican, but I'm old school like that.
Traditional. Also that.
Yeah.
I'm not Republican, but I would.
Okay.
But at the same time, we were very liberal. My wife, I don't give a shit. She goes to work, and every so often technically I make more than her because I have
Hey,
my
Okay,
my
hey,
disability.
say it with
But
your
I'm just saying. But our work wise,
Put
we
that
go
crown
back
on.
and forth. She's making more than me right now.
Okay, so
My
let's-
work.
So then let's dabble into this, right? As far as like relationships and marriages, like, do you think like once you get far along into that marriage stage, like, is it better to kind of just free flow with duties, or is it better to kind of like, okay, you pay for this, you pay for like you have these certain duties, she has these certain duties, and we kind of figure it out that way separately? You know what I mean? Or do we just free flow? Like,
So
how
with,
do you go about it?
with us, what happened is I was like, here, I'm paying all of these, and she was like, I want to help. I go, here, have this bill and have this bill. I'll take care of the rest.
Gotcha.
And then throughout time, she's like, we'll get another bill added on, and I'll say, I got that. Or like if we go grocery shopping, I got that.
Gotcha.
I try to give her as much financial freedom as I can.
Respect, brother. I feel that.
Well, that's only just when it comes to the bills.
That's just when it comes to the bills.
You know what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to household duties, I think everyone's different when it comes to this. I think we're playing on strengths at that point. Like maybe that one person's, maybe he's the clean freak. Maybe he's the one that does all the cleaning, right?
Tight,
Or
tight.
or maybe like she does it. Maybe she has more time because she could do laundry, or maybe they both do laundry together. There's a lot, man. It just depends on your lady.
Also,
I feel
like
that. It kinda
I'm
depends
like
on
a
the relationship,
outside
right?
dude.
So you mow and do all
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff
I'd
like
prefer
She's
to have
the
a house
inside.
cleaner.
But I also
But
help
she
too.
also is single, so I mean, so
So I also like if I see dishes, I'll do the dishes.
Yeah.
Or like there's times where I like, oh, today I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna fucking do everything.
and so they
Because-
can't tell you shit.
No, because she gets like fucking antsy.
Uh-huh.
So she goes like, if I just start doing things,
What am I? Oh, she has nothing to do.
She has nothing to
so
do.
She'll do in the
and so like I'll start like at a certain time every day. I do dishes are done at this time every day. Yeah. Just how our life is. You know, roughly around within 5 or 10 minutes. And like if I see her sitting down relaxing, I'm gonna get her. Boom, and I just start doing it just to fuck with her. To be honest.
I feel that.
Oh, so what's up? You have a girl or what?
Nah, I'm currently single.
Nah, you have a bunch of bitches, huh? Yeah.
Oh,
the roster.
Come on.
Do you have any curly hair girls?
You cleared the roster? Why would you do that?
Is he though for us? Is he though?
You can still focus.
Is he though?
You can still focus.
So yeah,
who did you do? Who hurt you?
5-star roster. Fuck a player on the whole team. That's what I'll say. But yeah, nah. To be real, I dropped my roster because I was really interested in I was really interested in somebody. You know, and I kind of wanted to make it a little more serious. But also, I feel like I was kind of in a Delulu stage where I was just like, you know, I think I was living in a little bit of a fantasy.
You were booty blinded?
I put too many eggs in one basket. And
I hear you. Been there and done that, my friend.
It didn't work out.
And so now you're back to nothing?
Oh, I'll never have nothing, brother.
No, I mean, I'm trying to fucking play the fantasy with you, bro.
Oh,
we clip this up, and you're the fucking vulnerable dude that's an artist.
Right, check 2.
We're trying to get you
Take
pussy,
2.
right?
Yeah.
This is what this is.
This is how we build that roster back.
You understand? I understand what your game is.
You're looking.
We'll talk
You
about
understand what your game is. Play with me, brother. Play with me.
I got you.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Out here
Yeah, closed mouth don't get fed.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
You're looking
All right, let's
for
start this shit
the
again.
real
All right,
thing.
take
We'll
2.
just clip this part.
You're looking for the real thing. Yeah.
So you just don't have no one now.
Nah. Man, I feel you. Shit.
Fuck yeah, that's it.
That's the clip.
That's the clip right there. That's the fucking clip.
I was like, you get that chat?
Nah, listen, after having to deplete the roster doesn't really ever get depleted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
The roster always is there.
There's reserves.
There's reserves.
How do men build up their rosters?
We don't talk about that with girls.
We don't give out that information.
We don't give that information out.
That's bro code.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Think about it. That's the same thing like women do. What the fuck? Women do the same.
But they
shit.
pretend they don't do it.
No, I hang
the
out.
guys they say they do it.
No.
Women pretend they don't do it.
No, okay.
Well,
I
women
hang out.
do.
How often do I have like groups of guy friends?
That's true.
All the time.
She doesn't have with females.
I have
But
some female
see,
friends.
This is the thing. How often will the homegirl hook you up with her homegirls?
Well, she doesn't have any homegirls.
I don't
to
have.
hook up to
No,
her.
okay. So actually, one time, this one rapper dude was like, "I'm gonna get you a booth at the 6. Da 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 da. Make sure you bring your home." This one, the 6 was thing. Make sure you bring your homegirls. And I was like, okay, first, I don't go to clubs, so no. And second, why do you think I have a booth full of homegirls? Don't you know me? Like.
He does not.
What?
She's like, nah.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, you shot too high.
I'll go by myself, I guess. Like. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. So, what's your type? Like, build your girl.
Well, wait,
Chat
I'm more
GPT
interested on
it.
who's the girl that broke your heart. What did she look
What
like?
does she look like? Now he's gonna take a little bit from her, a little bit from somebody else.
But I want to see what his type was that broke his heart.
I wouldn't say that she broke my heart.
Oh yeah, she's white. She's white.
Bro, you're talking to a guy who's done literally the same thing over and over and over again. I see the pain.
She was white?
I see the pain behind those yellow frames.
The certain one, okay, look.
She was white?
The one that made
Yeah.
me drop
Yeah.
my roster
She was right.
was white.
Yes! I fucking knew it!
We should have had a roulette bingo going on.
Fuck, I hate whites too, dude.
I was like,
Hey,
she
the
was,
whiteys. Oh,
I hate
man.
the whites.
Greek. She was
Oh,
Greek.
Damn.
Oh, she was tall?
Hella tall.
Yeah, I knew it.
Fuck.
Fine. She was fine as wine. Not even gonna cap with you. She was actually a really cool vibe. She was a regular at my bar. But
Are you a bartender?
yeah.
Yeah. That's why the roster don't end, baby.
Yeah.
That's why the roster does not end.
And
You even have applicants at that bar.
I was
I'll
like,
take your application later.
It's always gonna be fun. You know, one of the reasons why I actually.
Wait, how old are you, man?
Oh, I'm 25.
Oh, fuck. You have. Oh, man. To be. Oh,
Yeah.
to
But no,
be that
one of
age.
the reasons why we actually started clicking was because like I'm a petty person. Let's just get this straight. Let's get this out of the way.
I love petty. Go ahead.
I'm a petty person. Man, I don't know
Well-
if you love my petty, but
I love
yeah,
everyone's petty.
She couldn't handle your petty?
I don't think anyone could have handled that petty at that point. Yeah, I got.
What are you,
petty.
Stephon Diggs or what?
Yeah. I was just like, basically, I was at the bar, right? She came in, we were talking, and like, for me, like, you really need to vibe with me. Like, I'm a big connection person. Like, if we not thinking and like of the same page on the same wavelength, and
She
like,
gotta be ending your sentences. Is that what's going on?
not like that, but it's just like, you know, there's just a vibe that I get.
Okay.
Like, you on the same wavelength as me. That's why I fuck with you. You feel me? I can't fuck with you otherwise. And sometimes she would like catch me on that wave, but then she would intentionally cut it off. You feel me? And then like either with her ADHD, she's wandering off somewhere, and she'd always cut it off. So then it always had me feel like you playing with me. Like, I feel like you not.
No shit.
You know, like you playing with me. Like,
She's
I feel like you teasing.
intentionally not connecting with you
It's part of the
to
game.
keep it going.
Exactly.
Were you giving her really great bar service?
Yeah.
Where
If
was
the
she
bar
getting?
was something else.
What?
Yeah, I would always give really
Yeah.
good bar
Okay.
service. I do.
You have a obviously high expectations.
Is it him?
It's him.
ATM, is it him?
It like, yeah, it is.
It is.
It is. But to continue
Why?
this story, this girl ended up talking to somebody, and like they wasn't talking, they were just
Conversating. They were having a conversation.
To be honest,
And you
with
lost your shit.
and I lost my absolute shit.
What the
So
fuck
you-
is
are you-
What is wrong with
So
you?
you're like
I
territorial
Cobra,
pet.
what is wrong with you?
I just lost
Hey,
my
I know
shit.
you're a cobra and you
And
want
I'm really not like that. Like to be
Dude,
honest
what the
with
fuck
you,
is going
like,
on?
I'm not. It's like I'm really not like that.
Well, you are.
But,
Yeah,
like, I
you
just-
are.
You are.
Did it like that was that was
Yeah.
the first time I ever did that. But
Is
Why
it-
though?
No. Is it the
At the
first
bar?
time?
Like, did you stop and you ain't stop and you talked to him?
Oh, I didn't go that far. But
Okay.
like,
You just-
like,
afterwards,
I
after-
Let
got
her know you're
upset,
upset.
and then like it's gonna
And it escalated.
cascade and escalate.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
'cause, like,
Damn.
I kind of just lost my shit. I
Yeah,
was just
bro.
Like,
Because after that, women will 100% run away after that.
yeah.
Unless
So
they're
it was
super
just like-
toxic.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but then at the
but
long run,
thing
you don't want to
is,
be in something like that
she
anyway.
Yeah, why do you
was
want that
super
in your
toxic.
life?
She probably was super toxic because she still kept entertaining me after that.
See?
But like
Told you.
like I said, I ended up fucking it up in the end.
How long was this, like, back and forth?
Not that long. Like we was literally like
So you're not vibing with a girl and you're
Maybe
cut off
like
your roster?
3 months. 3 months.
Bro, after 3 months, you're cutting the roster off?
You're not vibing with the girl
I get the
and you
Lulu,
cut
like,
your roster off?
bro,
You said it yourself. You're not vibing with her.
I get the Lulu. Like I get the Lulu.
Was she
'Cause I
that?
really
She was.
You don't tell him
that
nothing,
fine.
ATM?
I told you, bro. She was fine as well. She was
Oh,
fine.
you just don't listen?
Is she, was
I guess,
was it worth all
yeah.
I'm gonna ask your friend. Was it worth all that?
You remember? You know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
We'll edit her name out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Was the whole thing worth
Is
it?
it self-inflicted? Yeah. Yeah. So because I said the same way, and he knows who I was talking. I was talking to a bad, like probably one of the baddest, and I was having the time of my life. And I was having it, and but that I would crash out, and we were playing this, and it was very similar. I saw what you're telling me. It's very similar. My boy will tell you. And he would be like, Isaac, good for you having a good time, but you need to fucking cut this shit off because that shit ain't healthy. It's not working with you, you know? And then that's what I do. Put my eggs in the basket thinking, no, I got this shit. I got this shit, right? It always end up turning the way out. Like, you know, it's better to cut and then go back and be like, damn, that was a good time.
I love to cut people out.
That was a good time.
Cut 'em
and my
all out.
boys got to see, and I was like, hey, you remember that one time? You remember that one time? Yeah.
But like, yeah, so it just ended up with me being the Lulu. I also would get really drunk at work, so I would like to tell people.
Fuck yeah.
I would like to tell my
What bar you got?
feelings-
My
yeah,
dude,
to
I'm
tell my
there.
feelings to
I'm
not
going to your
only
bar, bro.
my coworkers, but to all my regulars. And so like
Oh, boy.
like the girls eventually started coming back around with rumors going back her way. So now she's starting to.
She's getting it full. Now she's hitting.
getting overwhelmed with shit. And it got to the point, like I said, she started talking to another dude. I kind of crashed out. So I think the very next day she came into the bar, and it just happened to be off. I'm drunk.
Oh no.
And all my roster happened to come into the same place that day.
Oh,
Oh, that's
you didn't
what happened.
lose the roster.
You lost the roster.
You didn't give up the roster. The
You
roster
lost
gave
it.
up on you.
You lost it, bro.
Well, I think what happened
Plot
was
twist.
it was just like
The plot
boom.
twist.
It was the plot twist is that I fucked up with Alexis, and then because I fucked up with Alexis, I started getting a lot more bitter. So then I started just fucking up each and every one.
You self-sabotage all of
everything.
Because like
I
Alexa,
love this.
So you can start
much.
afresh.
I'm sorry. Like bleep out her name. I don't. Yeah. Basically, what happened was all my girls came in at the bar one time, and they all wanted my attention, and I wanted Alexis's attention, but Alexis didn't want to give it to me.
You just keep saying her name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're like, bleep it out, but you're going to say it 10 times.
I'm like, I don't be thinking.
We triggered him.
Oh God,
He's triggered.
I'm going back in time.
It's all right. This is therapy for him. Let him go.
Let me think. So she,
Voldemort.
A.
Yeah. Voldemort.
A.
Those thou shalt not be.
I like
A wasn't
Voldemort
giving me
more.
attention at the time.
Yeah, Voldemort.
So another girl whose name started with an A came in and she wanted my attention. So I made sure I made sure A
Fuck
was
my
looking.
job.
The editor's gonna have.
Oh
that.
God, the
my
editor's gonna hate
fuck.
this one. I'm sorry, brother. I made sure that A was looking directly at me, and I started going crazy with the other one. Started
Oh
making
my
out with the other
God.
one, having a very good time with her.
You know what's good for you that this has happened so far into your
Yeah,
to your
at 25,
journey,
yeah.
25, because this is better than it's happening in your 30s or
Yeah.
your late 30s, and you're crashing out, and your boys are gonna be like, "Hey."
It's super
Yeah.
cringy. It's extra cringy when you're in your 30s.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. That's why I'm.
Well,
So
you're young though. You don't know. You're having a good time. You're surrounded by women.
and
you know,
you're
people
learning
get-
as you go, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You're learning.
But you
Every
also
day.
have to reflect. Every time something bad happens, you reflect on what you did wrong. Not just what they did wrong, what you did wrong. And that took me years to kind of figure that out as you're going through relationships. You go, nothing's wrong with me.
Right.
I'm the
Like,
fucking,
I'm
what the fuck,
perfect.
I'm
You know
fucking,
what I
I'm over here doing what I gotta do, give the flowers and do this and pay for the food and all that other stuff. But why does you never be in a relationship longer than 6, 7 months, 8 months, a year, whatever? What are you doing? What is happening? What are you self-sabotaging? What are you not listening to? Are you not listening to them? Or are they just not a good fit? And it's okay. Sometimes they just, you vibe for a couple months and then it fizzles out. And it's okay to not be in that relationship. You could be friends or booty calls or whatever you want to do. But it's take a good time to self-reflect and why. But, you know, you're young, man. Focus on music. Focus on that.
Yeah.
You will attract the woman that's worthy for you.
I feel that.
They'll manifest because there's women that are gonna be manifesting that do like you, regardless of what your insecurities or imperfections are. Yeah,
I feel that.
you got it. You know what I mean? Just don't don't get hanged up on Voldemort. You know what I mean? After you told her like
Voldemort's
27 and names and letting the editor have to edit her out now.
Oh God.
And,
I'm
and
like,
not some
I'm
like
sorry,
fucked
Mr.
up
Editor.
shit, but like, is any bitch really worth
No.
any amount of time away from your
No.
goal
No.
in your dream?
Not if they're trying. Not if they're not adding to
If
it.
they're not
If they're
adding
not
to the
adding-
goal,
No.
Yeah.
Good. No.
Yeah.
First of all,
Good
for
first
you.
of all, let's be fair.
'Cause
He
I'm not
didn't.
gonna lie, I
He
was
didn't lose the
distracted.
roster. The roster came in and be like, "Fuck yeah."
It was
he
divine
was forced.
intervention.
You give my man too
it
much
got
credit.
repossessed. Your roster got repossessed,
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah. I got.
If it
repo.
wasn't for that day, he probably would still have a roster. But maybe.
But this is like
But
he's saying
this is a blessing
reflection.
in disguise. No, this is a blessing. That's why you're rechanneled, and don't let that shit. Like what we're trying to tell you, your unks are telling you like, hey,
Your unks?
yeah, that's when you're older and you're not related. You know, like you don't know about the unk stuff. Like your auntie.
You know what I saw? Apparently, bro, I'm an unk now because like there was this thing on Insta and it was like if you know these certain shows or if like, you grew up watching these certain shows,
no.
you're an unk. And it was like, bro,
Your parents are old school.
Like you have an old. You have an
No.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Your
have
parents are old school.
I have
And you were raised by old heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your parents are older too.
Yeah.
My
parents are-
daughter, she literally was cracking up in the car, and I had my Spotify on, and she's like, "I need to show you this," and she just thought this was the funniest shit. It was, what was it? It was like a TikTok of like something single mom music, and it was like, and she's just naming off the
All your
comments.
favorites. All
Oh,
your favorite songs.
She's,
Oh,
and
no,
I'm
she's
like,
like,
we're
"You
literally
play this
playing-
one all the time,
Yeah,
huh?"
she's like, hey, and she started off by saying, hey, you know this song? I'm like, yeah. She's like, didn't we just play this song earlier? Yeah, and she just named it. I'm like, what are you doing right now? And then she just thought it was the funniest fucking thing. So fuck the internet, okay? It'll call you whatever it wants to call you.
Oh, God.
So if you're an unk, you're an unk.
Hey, I'll
Just
take
live it up.
I'll
Well,
take it.
but again,
I gotta
because
put
your
these youngins
parents,
into shape. You feel me?
your parents were in the older age, so you got introduced to older, maybe even older shows or
Yeah.
whatever. Because you're forced to watch or listen to whatever
It's around you.
around you at
Definitely.
that age. I was just literally
Definitely.
talking about how how I started with music was all just Mexican music at first. It was just like all the songs that ended like tan tan. That's all I was listening to. That's all it was played. That's all that played. And then my dad started playing music, and he was into like mambo, and he was like big band and like classical pianos from like different artists, right? So Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, the big band people like Blasio and Pedro Espardo were one of the top. Like this is mambo and all this other different genres, right? And so that I was into that, and I was like, oh, so it was into this and that. And I was listening to that. And then my sisters, which is like 10, 11 years older than me. She was listening to rock and Espanol, 80s, Prince, 90s, stuff like that. You know, my oldest, my brother, he was into, you know, EDM and house. So there's a lot of stuff. So I got introduced to a lot of stuff. Huh?
There were signs.
There were signs. That was one of them. Da 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 dee da 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 da. So, but it grew on me, right? So that's why I grew up with all these, and they're like, man, you know a lot of old stuff. You know what I mean? And like, and I just because my siblings were so much older than me, they passed the knowledge, they passed the stuff. Like this is what we used to, and since they're like 11, 15, 20 years older than me, it's like I felt like I got 3 moms and 3 dads and all that. So they became like that.
You're the youngest?
I'm the youngest. Yeah.
I'm the youngest too. Yeah. My
what is your older? Your oldest?
The oldest? That's my older sister. She's in her late 50s.
Yeah.
Oh no
That's
shit!
a big gap.
So almost 20-something years. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
My dad,
Same.
To make this easy, like I always have to explain this to people. My dad just turned 80 this year. My dad fought at Vietnam.
Shit.
So what are your parents?
So your
think
mom's
of?
70.
No, my mom is 60.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
no,
20?
65.
65.
65 will be 66 in June or July.
What do your parents think of all of like your rap and everything you
That's what I
do?
was gonna get
Yeah,
to.
like what's their
Or your
opinion?
siblings.
Yeah, and your how does your family take it?
Is
Are
your-
they
wait,
supportive and
On top of that,
how?
are they both black or one? Or it's a mix? Or?
No, yeah, they're both black. They're both
Okay.
black.
The hood siblings?
It just depends. So I can start off with my siblings, right? I have 3 siblings, right? Tiffany, she likes my music. She was kind of like my biggest supporter. She's always been my biggest fan.
The oldest?
Yeah, the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah, she's always been my biggest fan. But it's mostly because like of how I grew up. My family situation was a little difficult. Not to give y'all too much, but my dad, I'm basically an affair baby. You know. Yeah, so my dad wasn't able to be there all the time, and since my oldest sister was, you know, she was conscious enough to understand what the full situation was, because she was 30 by that time.
Yeah.
She was really there looking out for me, you know. So she always made it like known that I have family, like I have an older sister, an older brother, you know. So like I remember she tried to kidnap me, take me to Las Vegas. She wanted me to get signed up to go to Georgia and get on this music program where they were gonna put me on TV and do some BET stuff. So yeah, like my sister is a big supporter of my music. She loves my music, even though I just don't think she really gets it because she's from a older
Different
age,
time.
you know. As far as my brother will tell me straight up. He's like, bro, like I like it, but it ain't for me, you know, because he's like, I'm a Jay-Z dude. Like I fuck with Jay-Z, I fuck with Biggie, I fuck with all this New York shit, and you not even from fucking New York, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But that's just the type.
I know
of dude,
dudes like that.
you know, like that's just the type of dude my brother is.
Was he in his 40s?
My brother is in his 50s too. He's in his
Oh,
mid
no
50s.
shit. So
Yeah.
That's probably 80s dude, huh?
Yeah.
And then he was into 80s, and then all of a sudden the 90s came. He was like, "This is my shit."
Facts. He actually fought in the military too. He was in the army. And then
Iraq,
yeah,
the first one, George W.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just started working for the VA recently, so he
shit.
made it a career. To stay in the army.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still likes my music. I remember whenever we take drives out to Louisiana and stuff, like he'll always be bumping my stuff, and he'll listen to it. Then the middle one, Talia.
It's always the middle one, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Talia.
It's always the middle one.
I never met Talia before. Talia don't. Well,
Oh.
I don't know. Talia's a weird
She mad at
situation.
you?
No, I don't think she's mad at me. I think that Talia just lives a different lifestyle. one, she's Jehovah's Witness.
Oh God, well that's why
he's former Jehovah's Witness.
I'm a former Jehovah's Witness. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So then, like, you
kind
of know
that answers it.
Yeah, me being
because if you're not Jehovah's Witness, they ain't fucking with you.
You know, and then me being a fair baby and all this other stuff, like it just really messes with her religion kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then she also lives in Mississippi. So she's the furthest.
Was any how did she become Jehovah's Witness?
How the fuck are you Jehovah's Witness in Mississippi?
That's what I'm saying.
That's like two bad things.
I have no idea.
Is she married?
Yeah.
And was her husband Jehovah's Witness before, or no?
Guys, I haven't had a conversation.
You don't talk to her, so you don't know. Yeah.
I never had a conversation. She never.
So, are you nice to the Jehovah's Witness if they come to your door?
Yeah.
Does it make you feel away?
I'm nice to a lot. I think I'm nice to everybody, to be honest.
Are you just pleasant?
I'm just like pleasant. Like I don't try to be mean, but like at the same time with Jehovah's Witness, like they're just around in my family, so I think I'm a little more relatable. Like my dad married an ex Jehovah's Witness. Oh. You know, like she's still Ruby. She still like practices, even though she won't claim that she's Jehovah's Witness. She still kind of practices. You know, that was why for a long time my dad had to kind of hide me because Ruby was practicing. You know what I mean?
She gets if
she would just get lividly upset. You know.
Does it make you feel away that your sister sort of doesn't approve of you?
I don't think it's that she doesn't approve of me. I really I say things because I'm on this side. And like I said, she's all the way out in Mississippi, and I tried to make an effort to go out to Mississippi to see her, but the closest I can get to is Louisiana, and then no one ever wants to take me the rest of the way. So and then like the one
would
time,
she be open to see you then?
Well, the one time where the actual effort was made was like, you know, Justin's gonna be in Louisiana, Cobra's gonna be in Louisiana, and we all made it a big little plan for a family reunion. He didn't pull through. Like we for days, like we're calling her, we're trying to figure it out. She's like, oh, maybe not. I might not be able to make it this day, but I should be able to make it on this day. You know, da 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 da. And Louisiana to Mississippi, at least where she is, it's not that far a drive. I think it's about 4 hours or so.
They feel like the same state.
Yeah, you know, and so it's just like.
Is it a poverty thing? You think maybe she can afford it?
It could be.
Because like really Mississippi, Alabama has real high rate of poverty.
Yeah, it could be. Like I said, I really don't know. I also we also have to keep in mind with Talia specifically is like she wasn't really raised with my dad either. Like her mom, so how my dad had 3 baby mamas. He had his original wife, which he had the first 2 with. He had a baby mother with Talia. That woman just took Talia and went to Mississippi, went somewhere. Took Talia and dipped, right? And then after a long time, he was about to get married. He literally had a fiance, but then he found my mom. And so that's how I came around.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
He was a Rolling Stone. that is the truth. So then, yeah.
Can you appreciate more of my musical consciousness other than these 2 illiterates over here?
Actually, is this really what a Rolling Stone means?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna ding that with the response. But don't feel bad because you know what? Coming from an ex-Jehovah's Witness, when it comes to family and people that are not Jehovah's Witness, it's a weird rewiring of like accepting people for what or not who they are. You know what I mean? Because that's how they're wired. Exactly. That's how they've been.
Same
taught.
with Scientology. Yeah, it's very similar.
It's like my mom said. It's like when they wash your coconut. They wash your brain they brainwash your
cultish almost.
Yeah, it's cultish where like you're not allowed to talk to these people. Yeah. If they're ex-fellowship, you're more not to talk to these people because they're going to corrupt you. And I never was, and even in the religion and when I knew, I always thought like, this is when they need the church and people the most. When they sin, you go and rally. You don't cast them out like lepers. Exactly. And that's what they do. And that's why one thing that even when I got older, I go, I don't like the major principle where you're just ex-fellowshipping people and casting them out in their time of need and desire, when they need the community, when they need church, when they need a shining star to go and get built back up, they shun you, and I hated that part. So it's easier for me to understand when someone feels a certain way when you're, first of all, obviously the background of how that happened, right? That's a major no-no in that religion. Like that's adultery. Yeah. Outside of marriage, all that stuff is huge. That's one of the top things to get ex-fellowship by. And then not only that, but then you're not a part of the religion. Yeah. So they don't like to fraternize outside their kind. That's just, and once you understand that, it has nothing it's nothing personal with you. And maybe it is because of who your mom was. Yeah. But it's mostly because their religion is doctrinating them to only be with their kind.
I definitely feel that. Like I said, it took a very long time for me and Ruby, my stepmother, to meet. To be honest with you, because like I said, my dad, growing up, like let's say I'd be in the car with my dad, we go into the barbershop, wherever we going, and Ruby would call him just to check on his day. My dad'd be like, "Oh, be quiet." Like, you know what I mean? And I'm 6 at this point, and he's like, "Yeah, be quiet." My wife is calling me, and so that's kind of the relationship that I had. And like, it would always be painted. Ruby would always be painted because Ruby's a bodybuilder. She's actually rated 3rd in the world for women. She's actually like, yeah, Ruby's famous.
Who's bigger, her or Tim?
Pretty close.
Ruby's.
Damn.
Like,
he has
Ruby's
to think
big.
about it.
Ruby's big. Well, I mean, see, you have size. You actually like. You know,
fat, yeah.
You know, no.
The cycle. Remember the cycle?
the loop. It's the loop.
He smokes because of the weed, and the weed gives him the munchies, and the weed make him fat. And then he has fat because he has to go to the gym, and then the gym and the aches, and it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. See, Ruby ain't gonna get in that cycle.
Nah.
Ruby is in her 70s. Her
Oh,
late
shit.
70s.
Damn.
And she has a 6-pack, or actually an 8-pack. She has lats that would kill a man. Like I promise you. I promise you. If you look her up. Oh, easy. I remember like Ruby was trying to show me her workout, and she picked up a monster truck tire and would just be flipping them bitches. Just like easy work. That's her morning workout. Like just be flipping monster truck tires. Her name's Ruby Carter Pikes. But it took me a while. It took me a very long time for Ruby to even really recognize my existence. But it got to this point where I was 21, and I kind of let all my feelings kind of being the black sheep, kind of being the bastard of the family, you know. I let all of that feeling out on my dad. And that wasn't my proudest moment either. That was the first time I ever made my dad cry.
But like, not to like.
Oh shit!
Jesus Christ! It's
Um,
ridiculous. I'm gonna put it picture in picture. I'll
Gotcha.
remember.
Yeah, that's my stepmom.
Can you move your? Yeah, thank you. Your ass, I can't see.
I'm not wearing glasses.
And you're not wearing pants. Fucking just fucking see ass.
Oh, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was saying that
You were distracted by the
I
ass
was
cheek too.
distracted.
Yeah. No. fuck.
It, like, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
you have shit that's unresolved,
Yeah.
and he deserves. You deserve closure or explanation on your life.
Fact.
You missed out on shit.
Fact.
You and your perception of what a man is fucking forever altered
it's
because of him.
Altered
Exactly.
100%.
100%.
You definitely would have benefited from the shit that I went through.
Yeah.
In the sense of that spiritual enlightenment,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. But you don't.
Yeah. I
you
think that would be good for you.
And I don't even want to press it to like you needed to do that in a sense. I would just because what I realized from my situation is that my inner child was hurt. Not the adult me was able to forgive and forget and kind of be like I understood why with my mom and even my dad had some fault because he let the abuse continue. He never really stand up for me, but it was, and I didn't. So I forgave them, and then my inner self was mad at me because I didn't advocate for my inner self, and mad because you're not mad at your dad, you're not mad at your mom, and because of the inner me, the 6-year-old you that your dad said, "Shut the fuck up, don't say anything." Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, I'm just here, like,
because that energy's still alive.
it is
because it never got expelled.
It never did. And so like I always had to kind of, and plus like growing up with older black parents, especially in the way that they did, like my dad was born in the 50s, to make it understandable. So he really is the like he was a lot more patient than he was with his other kids because he was older, but at the same time he was still the same like, hey, be quiet, adults are speaking, you have no right at the table to speak kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only until I became an adult did we really become close. And I've always been close to my dad.
Yeah.
He was my role model growing up, but it was just like I now understand you not as a father but as a man.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's different.
That's different. So like that's when I became close to my dad. But to continue on with the story, yeah, I kind of emptied my heart on my dad and I made my dad cry. At least I feel like I was crying, so I feel like he was crying. But yeah, we talked about it, and I think after that he went home and told I'm getting back invited to Louisiana again. Because there was a point in time where I wasn't like, yeah, I would go out to Louisiana, but because he's going with Ruby, I'm not going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got family in Louisiana too. You know?
And that's good. It's even my mom says, right, when I date women that have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I don't try to, but I do. And you like who you like. My mom gave me this really good piece of advice that when you said that, it's like the kids are innocent in this, regardless of who birthed who or whatever. Even if they're not my kid, like they're here and they have no control of how they came here or so they're innocent. So they need that extra love and attention. So like I'm not gonna like so if you were if a kid of someone I'm dating. I'm not gonna bastardize them because they come from somebody else. They need the same love. They need acceptance. They know who knows what their psychological shit is. So if they give you the empathy and they give you that love, that's what's when you say the soften of the heart. That's like them being like, poor thing, poor child, because they're older, right? They mean you're a grown ass man, but they see you as younger, and they go, you need that love, or the love that you didn't get.
Exactly.
So hopefully that opens up, like you said, they come go and do that. That's what I think everyone. Because he even tells me that he's like, yeah, you gotta take care of who you need to take care of. You're dating a girl, like you have to take care of your girl and then the kid. You can't just be like, oh, he's not my kid. If anyone,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can't be like that, like, because it really affects. One, you're taking away a parent's time with their child.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like it may not be intentional, but it's how life is, like. As men, as women, as people in relationships, you have to make sacrifices not only for your family, like people that actually depend on you, but you have to make sacrifices for your partner. You know what I mean? And you have to balance out that life. And someone's going to end up losing time. I just hope that, people get the right amount of time that they need. Because I feel like a lot of the time I could have spent with my dad. Like, my dad, when growing up, he had grandkids my age, right? So I would be hanging out with, I guess it would be my nieces and nephews, right? I'd be hanging out with my nieces and nephews.
The same age, about the same age.
They're about the same age as me. And they get to go, they call him Papa. So they get to go to Papa's house, but I can't.
Yeah.
I'm the bastard. You know what I mean? So it definitely was a childhood that I had to adjust to. And, like,
Have you wrote anything like this? Like,
I tried to, but like it's just a really deep thing, and I always feel like with that, it's a lot of confused feelings because I don't want to, like I was just about to say, like, me and Ruby get along now. Like, I actually love my stepmama Ruby. Shout out to stepmama Ruby. Yeah, like, we get along now. We might have had that difficult past in the forward, but like we love each other now. So it's just like,
good.
Now, me writing about it and getting into that deep point, it just feels
maybe not right now, but I think that would be beneficial and therapeutic for you.
Like a little therapeutic.
Yeah.
I think so.
Even if you don't release it.
Yeah.
Maybe just for you.
Just to sharpen the knife.
Yeah, if I did it, it would be to sharpen the knife. I don't really think I want to do it because I don't want to bring up.
You don't want to rehash shit.
Like this.
And you don't want to be known for that.
Like, exactly. Like, I'm fully okay with it. It was hard growing up, and until I had that conversation, and I was able to go back to Louisiana and see my family,
that's
and have
kinda
those
nice.
conversations with Ruby. Yeah. Like, after I got all of that, it really did heal me and give me a new perspective.
Good.
Like, now, like, my only problems with them is, like, my dad lives in Lancaster, and I gotta figure out a way to get
Lancaster?
Yeah,
like how, like Lancaster? Yeah. Oh my God, that's where my family's at.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what? I'm going out there in a couple weeks.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, looking forward. I'll go stop. I'll say hi to your dad.
All right, so
I'll go say hi to your family.
I want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for showing up and your sharing your story. Before we go, I want this is a piece of advice I learned about a year ago, and I had like a falling out with my son. He's 19. And so we had a little falling out, and there's a book I read, and this gave me solace. And it helped put things into perspective as a man. The quote goes, I'll probably butcher it, that the cycle of a father and a son's relationship goes through 3 different cycles. The first cycle is you idolize him. The next cycle is you demonize him. And the last cycle is you humanize him. And when I read that, I noticed that that's what my cycle is. And that's what his cycle is. So generational, that's what happened. So I'm not sure if that, anybody, if you guys, I don't know, not well, with your pops too, Ice. I don't know.
My pops, it was exactly the same thing. I worshipped him. What was the cycle again?
Worship,
idolize,
demonize,
humanize.
Absolutely. In the beginning, that's what it was, because that's how my dad was not the abusive one in the relationship.
Right.
So I've always thought of him like the chiller one. Like I felt I loved him more because he wasn't abusive. And so, he was the one that I could get away with the most shit. And then as I got older, and the way he treated my mom, and then I hear the stories about him being a Rolling Stone and him doing the shit, and my mom staying with him after shady stuff with within what's going on in the history of my family. So then you demonize him in a sense of like, you piece of shit. Like, how dare you do that with mom? Then you go to the point where now he's older. He's gone to church. He doesn't drink anymore. He goes with my mom to church. He's a Jehovah's Witness. He's preaching. He's talking about God. He reads the Bible. And then I listen. You see the path of his life. And then he did what he had to do. And he was able to buy a house, become American citizen. And then you go, oh my God, he was just a person. He was just trying to live his best life. He was just trying to figure it out. He had temptations.
We're all just fucking figuring it out.
Sins and all that stuff. But he was human. And when I look at it, I go, fuck, you did some fucked up shit, but you kind of atoned, and now you're this, and now that you're here with my mom still. Almost 60 years of marriage.
Congratulations on that.
It's rarity. You're gonna see that.
That's rare.
It's a rarity.
Hey, I know we're closing, but I wanted to just finish up and say one thing about what you had. For people out there and like kids or adults that grew up in a situation like mine, especially if you grew up with your mother and your dad was a Rolling Stone. That was in your life, and you feel like because he was a chiller one, because he wasn't in your life in that constant, don't be demonizing your mom is basically what I'm going to say, because that's a situation that I deal with now. I feel like because my mom had to step up in places and be a little harder on me than most moms had to because she was a single mother, I feel like I tend to demonize her and make it always seem like she's the problem, and that's not the case. That is definitely not the case. Be easier on moms, bro. They do a lot for us, and I feel like sometimes they just don't really get the credit they deserve. Love you, mama, and that's all I have.
Shout out to moms.
Last words, Ice.
No, same thing. I was same thing, but don't demonize moms, because at the end of the day, like you need to know the whole story.
Facts.
Yeah.
Maggie,
Facts.
last words.
I learned so much today. There's too much.
Got you.
Last words.
Shout out Kings, shout out Mamas, and shout out Cobras.
Fade to black. The crowd goes ape shit. We're out of here. As they say in Canada, peace out.
We out here.